Good day, it's August 18, 2025. Donald Trump deploys the DC National Guard for law enforcement in the U.S. Capitol, Washington, D.C. I'm Joe Buban. Welcome to The Pulse.
And I'm Jessica Rolla. Welcome to this week's edition.
In another move which many critics describe as the militarization of U.S. metropolitan cities, President Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard for what he describes as an effort to reduce the crime rate in D.C. But local officials said that the crime rate in D.C. is actually down. But critics describe further the president's move as a way to federalize and take control of the D.C. police and bolster further his authoritarian rule. Now, Trump is using D.C. as a model to use the National Guard in Los Angeles, New York, and other metropolitan cities around the country.
In Nevada, Governor Joe Lombardo has authorized the Nevada National Guard to assist immigration and law enforcement on a temporary and administrative basis, according to a report from the Nevada Independent. The governor said that only 35 volunteer guardsmen were deployed, and that represents only 1% of the entire force of the Nevada National Guard.
For the 2026 midterm election, things are heating up and are exciting the Democratic Party towards creating a blue wave in next year's election. In Iowa, incumbent Congressman Josh Turek, former Paralympic athlete and a very popular guy in his district, and Democrat who won his seat in a deep red district, will be the challenger running against Republican U.S. Senator Joni Ernst. Joni Ernst, who is up for re-election in 2026, supported Trump's Big Beautiful Bill that will eliminate thousands of Iowans for their Medicaid and remove SNAP, that is, food supplement, for thousands of poor families and children. The anger of her constituents in Iowa was visible during her town hall meeting, and one of her now famous response on not having Medicaid was, "We are all going to die." Of course, she explained later that she meant we all have our timeline here on Earth. But that did not go well with her constituents in Iowa.
When you are arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million, 1.4, they are not eligible, so they will be coming off. So people are not, well, we all are going to die. So, for heaven's sakes, folks.
In a special election in the state of Rhode Island, Democrat Stefano Famiglietti secured 83% of votes, compared with 16% for Republican Alexander Asarmely. Rhode Island Senate District 4 was long held by State Senator Dominic Ruggerio, who was Senate President of the Rhode Island State Senate before he died in April 29th of 2025. The seat has been held by a Democrat since 1984, but the margin this time was so huge as to indicate the district's independent voters has lost appetite of voting for a Republican. The late Senator Ruggerio served in the state legislature since 1981 and served in Congress until the mid-2000s. He came back to the state legislature and served as majority leader of the state Senate in 2009 until he served as Senate President in 2017.
A Filipino immigrant who has been in the U.S. for 23 years was detained upon returning from a vacation from the Bahamas. According to reporting by GMA and Newsweek online magazine. According to reports, Sonny Laquiste, a green card holder, was detained on July 28 at Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina upon arriving from a vacation in the Bahamas. According to Customs and Border Protection, Mr. Laquiste was being detained for prior charges of distributing controlled substance in 2012. Based on arrest and prosecution records, but had entered a plea deal, according to court records in the Southern District of New York. Under the Trump administration, ICE is looking for every kind of excuse to detain and arrest people for potential deportation, just like the Korean American, a doctorate researcher from Texas A&M University, who was detained returning from Korea because of an arrest record for possession of a small amount of marijuana in California, when at the time marijuana was still illegal. As of this reporting, the Las Vegas Filipino-American, Sonny Laquiste, was being held at the ICE detention center at Stewart County in the state of Georgia. To our viewers, just as a last recourse, when you or family is having difficulty in finding an attorney to represent a detainee, call the local American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, because they have a network of civil rights lawyers in every state. They are already overwhelmed, but they can help. In Las Vegas, the ACLU top lawyer is attorney Athar Hasimbula. You can look it up in the website of the ACLU Las Vegas. Let's take a commercial break. Please stay with us for an interview with the Reverend Dr. Rosita Lee, who will talk to us about the Filipino town Las Vegas Cultural District.
We use headphones as a part of our everyday lives. Whether we're at work, getting exercise, meditating, in transit, studying, practicing, or relaxing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Sway, the founder of Aircom. I would like to introduce the world's first wireless airflow audio earbuds. As a festival and a concert junkie, I really enjoy the live experience of being there and feeling the music. When we started developing Airflow, our goal was to reproduce that live experience using earbuds.
The problem with traditional headphones is that the speakers are located inside of the earpiece, literally giving you centimeters before the audio hits your eardrum.
What Aircom is doing, they're the first company to actually address the fact that there needs to be a space involved associated with having the sound waves expand fully.
The difference between traditional headphones and Aircom audio is that the air tube gives you 8 times more space, allowing the sound waves to fully develop before they actually hit your eardrums. And this gives it a much more live, natural sound, just like in a recording studio.
It's real nice that someone actually addressed the physics associated with how sound comes out.
The challenge we had was to create an earbud with enough airspace for the sound to fully develop and breathe. Unfortunately, traditional earbuds are about the size of a jelly bean, and there's just not enough airspace. However, that changed when we developed Airflow Audio. Airflow uses an air tube to deliver 6 to 8 times more airspace than traditional earbuds. The end result is a true live listening experience, just like you're at a festival or a concert. We also added magnets to the back of the earpieces so you can wear it around your neck when you're not using it.
Being that the drivers are 8 inches from the earpiece, the magnets do not affect the integrity of the sound at all.
The orange line represents the frequency transmitting through the wire to the speaker, which then converts to the blue sound wave that develops more as it travels up the air tube, producing a balanced, full body and live listening experience.
Another really cool feature is that these earbuds are sweat-proof and water-resistant because they're coated with a super hydrophobic nanotechnology. So now you can be on a skateboard or riding a motorcycle and listen to music as if you were watching a live show or actually in a recording studio.
We're coming to you for help in bringing these unparalleled earbuds to market.
We are the Philippines. We are land and sea. We are 7,107 islands. We are island people in a vast archipelago divided by the last ice age. We are one nation, yet a diverse people. We think in different ways. We speak in many voices. We dream in many worlds. We live many lives, all alluring, for we are naturally beautiful. We are tropical, we are warm, of heart, of greeting, of climate. We are mountainous, we are volcanic, we have volcanoes within volcanoes, and the most perfect cone. We are wet all around. We are wet underground. And when the typhoons blow, we are wet all over. Never far from a waterfall. Never distant from a beach. Everywhere our soothing waters beckon. We are lush. We are fertile, we are prolific, multifarious, biologically diverse. 10 times more, so they say, than the Galapagos itself. We have the smallest primate, the smallest carabao, the smallest fish. We have the largest fruit, the largest flower, the largest raptor, the majestic Philippine eagle, and other rare finds. The dugong, the cloud rat, grass owls, civet cats that deliver a wild flavored coffee. Hundreds of species of birds and insects. Thousands of species of fish and shells. And there, gleaming in the center of the Sulu Sea, the Tubataha Reef, a World Heritage Site. Only one of many others in these sun-kissed islands. And here we are, its people, the Filipinos. Who love to eat, who love to drink, who love to do nothing, who love to be ourselves. We sing a lot. We dance a lot. We talk a lot. We love a lot. We love a good laugh, and we do laugh a good lot. We laugh at each other, we laugh at ourselves. We celebrate life with raised glass, on bended knee, with innocence, with passion, with grace. We are 7,107 islands. Incredible, irresistible, unforgettable. We are the Philippines.
Don't waste your money on CBD. Now hold on, don't turn the video off. If you're already taking CBD, good for you. You're on a good path, but there's a much better way. If you're thinking, should I try CBD? Let me answer a couple of questions that might help you make the decision to even try a CBD product. First of all, let's answer the question, what is CBD and where does it come from? CBD is cannabidiol. It's called a cannabinoid, and it's found naturally in many different plants. In fact, as you see here in the Cannabicae family, there's hops, sandalwood, hackberry, of course, hemp, even marijuana, but we're not talking here about marijuana. In fact, we're going to be talking about hemp. As I started to mention, CBD can be found in hemp, in rather high levels, as a matter of fact. But here's the problem. CBD is not the only cannabinoid you can find in hemp. Hemp contains over 100 different cannabinoids. In fact, in the Cannabicae family, hemp contains the highest level of cannabinoids of any plant, which is why it's the most popular source for CBD. But as I mentioned, CBD is only one of the cannabinoids that you can find in hemp. Hemp contains high levels also of CBC, CBG, and CBN. So why would we want CBC, CBD, CBG, and CBN? Well, as we look at the benefits here from CBD alone, you can see these benefits are great. I mean, who wouldn't want these benefits, right? But let's look at the benefits you can get from CBC. You see, they compound with CBD and offer yet even more. But then let's also now look at CBG. CBG has even more benefits. So naturally, anybody looking for the maximum benefit you can derive from hemp would want CBC, CBG, and CBD. But don't stop there. CBN also has fantastic benefits. So if you're looking for a great hemp product and you're contemplating trying a CBD product, don't just buy CBD. And please, don't buy that cheap gas station grocery store stuff. It's just that, cheap, and it won't benefit you at all. But if you can get a high grade, medical grade in fact, hemp product that contains CBC, CBD, CBG, and CBN, now you are unleashing the full power of your body that can only happen if you have all four of these cannabinoids in your body. If you're taking CBD, you're getting roughly 1/4 of the benefit that hemp can give you. Well, 1/4 is better than nothing, I suppose, but when you want 100% of all the benefits that hemp can give you, that is what happens if you take CBD with CBC, CBG, and CBN. So now you're probably asking, well, where on earth do I get all four of those? The problem now is solved. CBX4 contains high levels, not trace levels, and this is very important, contains high levels of all four of these cannabinoids, which means every benefit we listed up until now is available to you naturally in CBX4 and only in CBX4.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
Welcome back to The Pulse. With us now here at PhilAm TV studios is the Reverend Pastor Dr. Rosita Lee, Honorary Chair of the Filipino Town Las Vegas inaugural celebration. Reverend Dr. Rosita Lee, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Please tell our viewers worldwide what the Filipino Town of Las Vegas is about.
Filipino Town is an entity that was deemed a particular segment of Las Vegas to be Filipinos, and it's a cultural district that we wanted to have. And so it was back in, it was a year, actually, it took a year But the first part of that year was just doing paperwork and doing research and what have you. And then in September, then I submitted the application because there were applications that had to be filled. And we had hired a statistician to get all the details, you know, the numbers count whenever you're doing a proposition. And then I had someone help me type and get the answers put into the application. And it took 9 months, Joe. Did you know that? It took 9 months in April that it was approved. And everybody, yes, and everybody who was there dressed in our beautiful Filipina outfits, they just couldn't stop but get up and yell and say hooray, because they really wanted to have a designated area for Filipinos. And that's what happened. That's what we have.
I see. When is the unveiling or inaugural events for this Filipino Town Cultural District, and how is it going to be celebrated?
Well, it's going to be October 9, which is just a couple of months away from here. And we're going to be celebrating it right in the Boulevard Mall, which is pretty much in the center of Filipino Town. And what is going to happen is that the Clark County will be in charge of the celebration. And so the chairman, Commissioner Tick Segerblum, will be overseeing the committees and the formation. And also we need to know, you know, what the community wants to do, because this is their town. And we talked about that. It's not one particular group, it's everybody's town, everybody who's Filipino or wants to be a Filipino. And you know, we have, Joe and Lorna, we have had people that say, I'm going to be a Filipino from now on, you know, because they're so excited about Filipino Town. So it's going to be October 9th. It's on a Thursday, and it'll be during the day. We have signs that will be put up on those poles, and so everybody will see that this area is Filipino Town. And we'll have the blessing, of course, that has to happen. And then we'll have some guest officials that will be coming. And we're really happy because this is the time that we recognize Filipinos here in Las Vegas.
Nice.
And I know it has been years of desire by Las Vegas American Filipinos to have this designation, but what did it take to make this finally happen?
What did it take? Well, like I've told the commissioner and the other commissioners, this is a God project. It is not my project, it's not yours or anybody else's, but Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, now's the time to do it. Go and talk to the commissioner, which is what I did. I got in the car and went and asked questions. How do we get something for the Filipinos? Because we knew that the Ethiopians had a town, I wanted to know, how did that happen? What is the process? Is it possible for the Filipinos to have? And so Commissioner Tick Segerblum, who is a very dear friend of mine, said, yes, it is possible. Let me have you work with Daniel in the Clark County Manager's office. So Daniel and I met. He showed me the application. He was the one that helped the Ethiopians. And he told me some stories about that. But so these are the questions that you need to have. And there are certain things that you need to have within a destination like this in order for it to be approved. And so I had to make sure that we had those things here. And it was really, for me, it was quite an adventure because I've had to work with different people to get this done. I didn't do it by myself. I had people that I worked with. And people don't understand that the community has to be involved. However, in an instance like this, you need to have a small group first. You cannot work with a huge group to work towards the destination that I saw. And from what I was told that the Ethiopians had to do, so to avert any kind of controversy, I kept it small. So small that it was just me that was doing the talking. I was doing the studying, getting all the statistics that they needed, and I was praying on my knees a lot.
We will leave it at that, Pastor Rosita, as we are out of time for this segment. Last words from you.
Thank you very much. I want to invite everyone who is here in Las Vegas to come and join us. It'll be from 11 o'clock until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We're having a lot of Filipino cultural dances. We'll have singing. You know, we're famous for karaoke, right? But we'll have singing during that time. And it'll be a time for us to get to know one another better. And it's a time that the community members will be here. And hopefully that it'll be a festive time, a time to feel what it's like to be Filipino and to know that we have a place. Here it is. It's called Filipino Town. Let's enjoy it. It'll take a long time. It might be a year or 2 before we get everything in place that we would like to have here. But it takes growth and it takes development and it takes a lot of patience to get the things that we want for Filipino Town, because Filipino Town is the cultural designation for all the 250,000 Filipinos that we have here in Las Vegas. So come, join us, and let's have some fun.
To our viewers, please join us again next week here at The Pulse. I'm Jessica Rolla. Thank you for watching.
And I'm Joe Boban. God bless your week.